And now we need to find Yennefer, who is presumably in here somewhere. Already chatted with Eskel. There's also a place for us to sharpen our sword over here real quick, which I suppose we might as well do. Is this actually a door that leads anywhere? If so... Ah, it's locked. I was gonna say. Could have been perhaps worth investigating real quick.
Winters breed some pretty strange ideas.
Yeah? We just practice swords, are they not? Oh, we even have the armor enhancement as well. It did seem rather odd that we had a bazillion places to sharpen our swords here, but this is the only time we've actually seen a place to polish up our armor. And for a while there, I was thinking we just wouldn't even be able to at all. There is another thing that we can loot over here. And it's hiding in the corner, which means that it has to be good, right? It has to be a worn woven leather, which is not good at all, and I don't actually think we had time to loot it, because... There we go. Now we got it. Okay. Now, let's head on over and find Yennefer. May not have even looted everything here. I mean, as we're starting to see, there are certainly spots that we've passed over here. Like, did we go up here? May not have, because I think we were encumbered at the time. That was just before we were heading over to Novigrad to sell our stuffs. So, now that we have some inventory space to spare, might find that we're actually able to pick up more. Doesn't seem like there's much here, though. It's not on this balcony. And, I mean, I imagine the fortress has several floors, or at least in Witcher 1 it did. Ooh. Speaking of things we've not looted. So I don't know if Yennefer is actually in this hallway, or if she's going to be up in a totally different area of the fortress. Maybe. But in the meantime, let's just take a second here to load up on some fish and other crafting materials. And, you know, some of this stuff does, of course, have a little bit of weight to it, but I don't think it's going to be enough for it to be something to really weigh us down significantly, so don't think we're going to need to head back to sell more stuff. We find that is an interesting way of vaulting over that. Oh, man. You guys just have coins lying around here? That. I don't know, but it seems like that's actually something that's on the other side of this wall. Rusty bread knife in this chest up here in the corner. Okay, I suppose we won't ask too many questions. Just a little odd is all. A little odd. Okay, yes, like Yennefer appears to be actually through this doorway. But let's just take a second here to be a little more thorough. Because I think there's a non-zero chance we might actually not be back in the fortress. I could see a scenario in which what ends up happening in this quest here is so dramatic and sweeping that, you know, we get caught up in the moment, we have to rush off to a different location, and then we actually don't ever double back here. That seems like that could be possible. I mean, I guess that sort of implies that we're at a point of no return, or approaching a point of no return. I don't necessarily think it's the case. We are certainly getting farther, but there's Lambert now, hanging out in a different spot. Here's another... Oh, no, that's the stash. Okay, I mean, we can see more stuff here that we can loot on the other side, but... Can we hop this? Slash walk through this? Apparently we can. Yeah, there's the door, but more stuff here. And by more stuff, I mean alcoholic beverages, of course. Because what else would we be looting, right? And empty bottles, naturally. Can we hop that? Possibly. If so, where? Let's see if we can catch anything up on that highest level. I don't think I'm seeing any, like, chests or anything. It seemed like it could potentially be a place to hide good loot, but I don't think there actually is anything there. I'm curious as to whether there's anything here, though. Looks like a totally different section of the castle. Probably means at some point we'll have reason to be in here for other quest-related things. But yeah, this is another thing that, man, reminded me so much of The Witcher 1, because yes, there was this hallway in The Witcher 1 as well, or the stairway as well. Like, this is where we met up with Triss, and there were some enemies as well, some bandits from Salamantra. This is where we were chatting with Triss. This might even be Geralt's room of sorts. Might have been the place where Geralt was hanging out with Yennefer in the tutorial of The Witcher 3? Don't know. Looks kind of like it. But, it reminds me more of The Witcher 1 than it does The Witcher 3, strangely enough. But we did, of course, have the bathtub scene at the very beginning, and that might basically be what we're seeing there. But nothing for us to do here, at least not at the moment. That was in the upward direction. There was also a staircase leading down. And like I said, I mean, probably not going to find much of anything to do here at the moment. This is probably largely preemptive. I suspect that on a later occasion we probably will have reason to come down here. But we'll check it out now, just to get a bit of a lay of the land. Like, down here was where there was the like Witcher tests going on and actually doing all the stuff with the mutagens, where Salamander was trying to steal all that stuff. But looks like that is pretty much in ruins now, which is perhaps understandable given how they aren't really making any new Witchers at this stage. So I think we have, at this point, explored everything that we're looking to explore here. Save real quick, and then I think we're gonna head on over to chat with Yennefer, who may or may not be in here. This is apparently the actual mess hall where people eat, even though everyone hangs out in the other room. Kinda, sorta. This is on the other side of where Lambert was. But again, it just seems kind of weird how large this place is for such a small number of people. I suppose, you know, it does make sense given how, once upon a time, there were far more Witchers than there currently are. So this place was basically, you know, they used it back then when there were so many more people who were using this area and relied on it. And so it would have made sense back then to have a larger castle, have this huge dining hall, kitchen-like area, place where everyone's hanging out now, and the large area outside the castle as well. But now it's just disproportionately large relative to the number of people that are currently calling this place home. Okay. I think that's just about it for this room. So let's continue. Okay, similar story here. Looks like we go upstairs to find Yennefer there. This looks very similar to the place where we were just in on the other side. More coins. Oh boy. We are rich. 1/1000th, or roughly 1/1000th, of how many coins we got for completing the quest that we did recently with the Emperor. Ah, now what is this?
Monstrum, or a portrayal of Witchers. Somebody's notes on the first page.
For it is well known that when a Witcher inflicts torment, suffering, and death, he experiences a semblance of pleasure and delight, the kind a normal and righteous man only feels when performing his marital duties with his spouse. From this it Latin. From this it clearly follows that the Witcher is, in the very matter of his being, a defiler of nature, an immoral and loathsome degenerate, born from the darkest and rankest depths of hell. For only one such as the devil himself can derive pleasure from suffering and torment. Note in the margin. The book is a key. The mind's near Kaer Morhen. What?
Notes describe how to open a passage in the mine. Might be worth seeing what's down there.
Did, in fact, run into a mine previously and did not have a way to get in. Which does make me wonder if perhaps it is worth checking that out now before we actually pursue all this stuff with Yennefer, because, like I said, there's a chance that we might find ourselves getting caught up in a whole bunch of stuff that makes it hard to step away from the main quest once we do start getting stuff sorted out with Yennefer and, by extension, hopefully Uma. So I think now probably is the best time to do that. And I think we have a fast travel location at that mine. I think so. It's down south, yeah, southwest. So I think that should be a pretty quick and simple check. We just make our way back to this fast travel spot, which is actually, that might even be a bit of a trek, because castle's pretty huge. And we do need to run through a bit of an obstacle course to get back there. But I think it's worth doing it now. And, you know, whatever we end up getting out of it, of course we get the benefit of it sooner. What's up? I'm just imagining I'm going to actually jump off one of these areas, and then, because there is a drop-off, we're going to have significant fall damage, and I'm actually going to get us killed that way. I'm just going to be like, dramatic jump! And then Geralt goes, oh no! So maybe we'll just cool it a little bit on that. This is what I was talking about earlier, where we have, like, we should not jump down from that, but several places to sharpen our weapons around here, but the only place to upgrade our armor is actually inside the keep. Okay. Not so bad, I suppose. Here we are. Then travel on over to that mine, and I mean, Geralt will say, no, the book is the key. I don't know if it is quite literally, you walk up, hold the book next to this place, and then you get in. You have to speak some magic words or whatnot, but we'll give it a shot. I don't even remember what the deal was before. Oh, did I even... I might have just gone here and said, this looks like a place where we're supposed to wait and come back on a later occasion. And so I just turned around before we even tried to go in. So I mean, now clearly is fair game after picking that up. Let's see, find... Oh, the Witcher's Forge, yeah. Well, we have Disturbance active, but let's go to the Witcher's Forge. Level 30! I suppose, I mean, it sounds like that's a lot, but it's actually not that bad, because we're 27 right now. Just as soon as it gets to the 30 level mark, that does seem significant. But... interesting. We actually... I don't think we had this quest before. I think it only just started showing up once we picked up that item. And so we technically preemptively did some of these things. Search the mine using a Richardson... or this might even be in reverse order here. Kill the Earth Elemental. Oh, we did have an Earth Elemental in here. And we did... no, we fought the Earth Elemental in this area. So we did go in here all the way. We fought that guy. And then we got a quest update from it in the bottom corner of the screen, like we just saw recently. And then I looked at our quest list, and it wasn't listed there, the quest that we heard about. So I was like, what? Did we not? Or did we finish the quest? Did we actually, you know, not do something properly to trigger the quest? But now that we read the copy of the tome, we know that we can go in and search the mine, and hopefully, at this stage, we'll actually be able to go through and make it into a bigger section. I'm assuming there isn't going to be a second Earth Elemental.
Place the book in the right spot.
Yeah, because it looked like there was basically this wall here that was going to come crashing down. Okay, random full tide is a little bit strange. That was grayed out. That was really weird. I think we had already taken that, and for some reason, it showed up again, and the game was like, hold on a minute. You already know about this diagram. But we're looking for a place to place Le Book. And this looks like a dramatic spot. Okay, we have put it here. Search the mysterious chamber using the Witcher's senses.
There's magic here.
I mean, I could have told you that much. Yes. This might be worth throwing on a cat potion. Huh? Several pieces of raw meat and other loot here, suggesting that something is getting killed, but obviously wasn't us doing the killing. It's a little strange. Lack of music is also a little bit
ordinary forge.
Alarming.
Medallion sensing magic. Ought to look around.
I mean, we will, but also we're gonna loot, so like, just a second, Geralt. Please, be patient. Come on, man. Get this. Hold on. Master repair kit, but we didn't actually get it. Hold on. Okay. There we go. Now we got it. Okay. And that's not really anything, but Slaughter of Sintra is a book that we just sold a bazillion to the shopkeeper in Novigrad, and just add that one to the list of stuff we want to sell. Okay, so that's obviously the thing we're looking for there. The red glow. Let's loot first. And this stuff is basically just junk weapons that we ultimately will want to actually sell. Search the mysterious chamber using ritual senses. Okay, well... Oh, is this going to open up another secret passageway? It kind of looks like it.
A blacksmith's bellows.
Stand down.
Or, you know, it's going to trigger something.
This place belongs to Radmir.
Who is Radmir? Apparently that name means something to Geralt, though it doesn't really mean anything to me. Who are you?
Who are you?
Some kind of guardian? Yeah.
This forges soul. I am the flame that tempers steel.
So, what? This is probably some magical Witcher's Forge, like the name of this quest would suggest. What's been happening? You've been in full lurk mode. We are checking out this, this what was originally just a mine, basically. Then we picked up a book that opened up a secret passageway into what now appears to be a forge. And now that we've made it into the forge, we are trying to make it further still, and went up to this fireplace, and now there's a magical fire spirit talking to us saying, turn around, otherwise something bad's gonna happen to you. Is basically the gist of it. And apparently this place used to belong to Radmir of Tor Carned, although that name doesn't mean anything to me, but apparently that person is dead.
Radmir of Tor Carned? He was flayed alive during Falka's rebellion.
Yikes.
A long time ago, that.
You lie.
I honestly don't know. It could be live for all I know, but I don't see why Geralt has any reason to lie about that.
Listen, just want to look around.
Intruder, I cannot allow this.
Uh-oh.
I will not allow it.
Oh.
No, not allowed.
All right. Yep, it's an Ifrit, which is a fire golem. So we'll hit it with fire, basically. Excuse me. I was not anywhere near you when you broke through our Quen. I just heard. That doesn't look good. Let's take a second here. It's been a long time since we last fought an Ifrit. Let's just double check what the general idea here is. Fire Elemental is probably also equally accurate. If we don't have one that technically says Ifrit, we don't. Okay, so this should also apply, I think. Hamridium, Northern Winds, Elemental Oil, and Ard. Okay? First Fire Elemental was created by Rancent Alvaro. Sadly, flames engulfed his entire laboratory, burning it, along with every other building on his block to ash. Fire is the most destructive of the elements. Thus, the aggressively lethal of the creature, or the aggressive lethality of the creature that embodies its essence should come as no surprise. Fire elementals are forged in complicated magic rituals for one purpose: destruction. And they pursue this with murderous determination. Okay, so we want to throw on an elemental oil. That much certainly makes sense. Which one is it? First, there it is, Elementa. And Oh, we switched over to Hang of Conscience? I don't think we meant to do that. I think that was a mistake. Hold on. Did we? It has so much less damage than our other sword does. It does have nice crit damage bonus, but I have to imagine that was a mistake. I think we meant to do Griffin Silver Sword, or we probably have some alternatives here. Ursine Steel, or they might all be steel. Feline Silver. So you can either do this for the bonus experience for monsters, which might not be a bad idea for what might be a pretty high experience fight right about now, or go for something that's... Oh, this also gives 20%, and we give the Sign Intensity and the critical hit damage bonus. Chance to dismember probably doesn't really do much to help us, but I think we throw this on. It does need a bit of a repair, and this is going to be a tricky enemy, so I think it's probably worth it to throw a repair on right about now. If ever there were time, this would be it. See how much repair we need. It's 36 durability. We're looking at about 60%. I think we might even have one of our repair kits that gives exactly 60%. That's 90. It's 40. Okay, so I think we throw on a 40 then. See if that gets us up to maximum damage at least. It does. So we might want to throw on a 15 just to give us a little bit more wiggle room, because we're probably going to fight or hit this guy several times, and in the process lower the durability considerably. So, okay, that's good. Oh, we also swapped over our Steel Sword. It did feel like we were dealing less damage than we were before. For some reason, we unequipped both of our Witcher swords. That explains a lot. Okay, I did not intend to do that, but okay. Now at least our Silver Sword is back to being the one we want it to be, but we threw on the oil on the wrong sword, so let's put it actually on the correct sword this time. There we go. So now we got the damage set up. I think in terms of explosives, we're also good on Northern Wind. That's probably the one that we'll try here. So that will freeze and slow this dude. And apparently, the answer is actually to go hard, which I did not really expect. We are also not currently with the stamina to use said sign. Ooh, hello. So that's how this works. Oh, you have several of those. I thought you were only gonna have one of those. Please throw this, Geralt. Okay, let's not get hit by that either. Or that, for that matter. Let's throw some food back on, and then maybe Ardia again. If we had the stamina for it, but we don't. So just give us a moment here. We did, of course, recently switch over from... Oh, we should have been up here to actually follow up with an attack after that. Ooh, that's not the way I thought that was going to go. I thought that was going to be a circle around you. It very much was not. Okay, please don't block. That's rude. Please do that instead. Also, strange as it sounds, we actually do want to Igni you early on to lower your armor, even if you are a fire elemental. That hurt. This will hurt more. Did kind of roll through that fire, momentarily at least. Enough so to take some damage over time from it, I think. Okay, but now you at least have less armor, which means when we do start wailing on you, it should be more effective. Yeah, are we even... We are technically healing right now, but that's not saying much. When we walk onto the fire, it breaks our Quen, which is unfortunate. And we should throw another one of these at you, I think. We just want to be relatively close to you when we do. And you do seem to just have these moments where you freeze. Hello. Still have seemingly more of those? Okay, well, okay. This staircase is making life difficult for us, because it's hard to hit you from... down here, like this. That doesn't really work, and that I think missed us just barely. You might be entering your final form, which is concerning. Will this actually damage you direct? I missed. I just flat out missed. Okay, again, weird. The change of elevation is making this rather awkward. I really wish you would just decide to stand down here, where we can, you know, like, hit you and whatnot. And don't insist on standing in the fire, Geralt. I mean, that one, okay, that was legit. But, like, don't, like, just chill here. Better places to do that. You still have more of these? I'm surprised. Then he just, like, does nothing, stands still for a while. And then we'll just do that. Weird fight.
Need to see what's behind the hearth.
Very strange fight. But, I mean, was in some ways one of the hardest fights that we've had thus far. But, just like, choose if you want to be up or down, or, I mean, you did stay up here, but that ledge made it tough. Okay, yeah, this really looks like some kind of illusion.
A secret compartment behind an illusion.
Exactly. Whoa! Oh, that was us standing on fire. That's what that was. I saw our shadow on the wall and thought, like right here, and thought that there was some kind of other monster that was sneaking up behind us. Like, haha, you have activated the illusion, or deactivated the illusion. Now is the perfect time for a surprise attack. Come on, man. Mastercrafted woven armor. Wow. Oh. So the highest level wolf gear, I think that we saw, I imagine we'll maybe get more of that, but I think that we saw, no, just the armor. But, and now we're encumbered. Well, good timing. We saw that there were not crafting recipes for at least one of the wolf school gear types of stuffs. And I think at one point, kind of raise an eyebrow at that. I was like, that seems strange. I mean, maybe we'll just get more of in Kaer Morhen, because if ever there were a place to learn about wolf school gear, it would presumably be Kaer Morhen. But it seems like, at least on this occasion, we may not even have that crafting recipe. We may just have to rely on getting the armor that we just picked up, which, I mean, is fine. Obviously, it's free. Don't have to pay to craft it. Don't have to have the materials to craft it, so we'll take it. I'm also curious as to just how good it is. I mean, it's going to be too high a level for us, I suspect. Requires level 34. Yeah. So we are not yet on any mastercrafted gear at this stage. His medium armor would have higher base armor, which is not surprising, given how it's 8 levels higher than our existing armor. It has adrenaline points. I think we saw in the past that the wolf school gear was, for the most part, basically a bit of a middle ground between the special bonuses that you get from the other types of wolf school gear. So adrenaline point gain, I think, is usually a thing from the bear school. Oh, but yeah, the swords were kind of like a little bit of everything from the different schools, whereas for the armor, it was like one type of armor is going to be like bear school, one type of armor is going to be like cat school, one type's going to be like griffin school. So the chest plate looks like it's similar to the bear school stuff with the adrenaline point gain, and then the gloves or the boots, the trousers are going to be like something else. We've been, at least in the past, we were using the cat school for the attack damage bonus. That's what we were prioritizing. Then we recently switched over to the griffin school. Just kind of mix it up a little bit, see how we liked it. And this is the sign intensity, so basically the magic route rather than the straight up attack route. Oh. I was looking at our mini-map and seeing the red arrow pointing down below the cave entrance there, and then just for some reason, when it was on like this angle here, the shape of the like building, if you even want to call it that, it really isn't a building, but on the mini-map it looks like it is. The shape of that made it look like it was just some really large indicator. There was like a red circle that was saying like, Vids, there is something important here that you missed. You must go back. What? But no, not actually. Just a coincidence that it happened to be in that shape. But we are encumbered, yes, but we'll just head on back to our fast travel spot, which should be close by. I'm curious if these are normal bears or berserker bears, given how we run into a fair number of those berserker bears. We can figure it out based on the color of their life bars. They are berserker bears, then I might deliberately try to fight them. They are not berserker bears, therefore I'm not interested. So we'll fast travel back to Kaer Morhen itself, as in actually the castle. And then on this occasion, we might just dump some stuff in our stash. I mean, certainly The Wolf School armor that we just picked up, that's probably one of the most heavy things that we have. One of the heaviest things that we have. Come on, Lids. Do you even English? It weighs... where is it? 10? Yeah, so if we dumped this, then we would, in fact, be back below the threshold we're looking to be below. But we did pick up some junky swords, some decent swords that we actually do want to sell. And then some armor that's valuable enough that we will want to sell it eventually. So, you know, I think we can stash it for now, and then when we're next in a city where there are actually people who will buy stuff from us, we can resell it. Please let us use this. Thank you. So obviously we will want to sell it eventually, but well, with us having done that fairly recently, we'll try to, you know, not make it such that we're doing that every time we go over our limit. It is rather inconvenient that there are no tradespeople here in Kaer Morhen, because, you know, that certainly very well could happen, that you pick up stuff and therefore you get encumbered. But at the same time, it's understandable, given how, you know, this is basically in a secret, abandoned place where only the Wolf School Witchers are, although I got a bit of a bone to pick with that. This is not exactly the most subtle of locations, okay? It's a humongous castle on the side of a mountain. Like, who would not see this thing from several miles away? With even minimal effort, you could easily find this place. And yet, somehow, nobody knows that it's here. Besides the people who are actually from the Wolf School. So, and I suppose our VIPs like Yennefer and Triss, but that just seems... I mean, sure, suspension of disbelief, yes, but I'm just saying. It's a little... It's a lot to suspend. Not sure if I really can believe that in full. You know, of all the things to hide, it's one thing if you got a little hut in the middle of the woods somewhere that's truthfully hidden, but a big castle on the side of the mountain like this, like I said, that's it's not exactly subtle. Not exactly subtle. But yeah, so we'll head back in, and as soon as we actually get into the castle, we will offload the stuff that we picked up, so we will no longer be encumbered, but at least for the moment, of course, we are. That will soon change. And we will head over to now talk with Yennefer. And that, at least as things currently stand, is the only component of the main quest here. Presumably, you know, it's gonna build somewhere from there. So I don't necessarily think we're going to be done in Kaer Morhen, so to speak, once we finish that, but it's possible we may be on the move after that. I mean, this is definitely a significantly smaller area than any of the places that we've been in previously. Maybe White Orchard is technically a little bit smaller, but even that, I'm not sure. Be kind of close. I think it's probably still a little bit larger. And Vizima, I suppose, is just the castle and nothing else, and we don't actually have access to much of the castle, so that is probably the smallest area. But I say that to suggest that, well, that would make sense for it to be shorter than certainly like Vel and Novigrad. Just kind of two areas in one, but still. And that was an extremely long area, right? So much stuff there. But anyways, here is our stash. So let's dump some stuff. And most importantly, we dump you. And like I said, that will be enough for us to now be below our weight limit. This is also quite heavy, so we should definitely dump you. And then maybe just... we could dump everything other than maybe our other Witcher swords that we could potentially swap over to. Even our relatively low-level Elmer Steel sword we did like, but we might have even been using that as our steel weapon, not a Witcher school sword. That might be worth keeping on hand wherever you just went. Let's keep that. But then get rid of all these guys. Like the chest plates, yeah. Generally speaking, the chest plates are going to be the ones that weigh the most. Even the shirts, not crazy heavy, but you have 3 of them, and they add up a little bit. That's 8. That's 6. 2, and then it's our price-checking boots. We must hold on to them. But yeah, now we're back down to just about 100, so we'll be fine for a little while now. Now, sprint again. So that's good stuff. And we will pay Yennefer a visit. And again, she's being her secretive self, doesn't really want to tell us what exactly her plan is, but at this point we've done the stuff with the phylactery. I don't even remember what the idea behind what we did with Eskel was. What did we ultimately end up doing there? Because we fought the monsters with him, yes, but did that actually do anything to further our cause toward... Oh, like, we got some crafting materials, right? From some of those monsters, with which to presumably dispel Luma's curse. Then we prepped the phylactery with Lambert. Is this the door we're looking for, or is it the other one? Presumably the other one, because this one's locked. And then Yennefer will actually be the one... Whoa!
Damn it, you piece of shit!
Doing something like that. That didn't sound good.
Damned crystal!
We have more of those.
You decide to blow us up?
Geralt, I'm sorry, but I'm in no mood for jests.
What's eating you?
Let me think. That was the 3rd crystal to explode. It's been a week, and Lambert's still not done what I've asked. Vesemir spitefully insists on repairing the wall just beneath my window and starts hammering at the crack of dawn, while Eskel seems to have gone mushroom picking, not forktail hunting.
The guys. Well, they're not exactly happy with you.
Why is
Yeah.
that?
Because you aren't willing to say what you're planning. You're treating them like pages, not including them. Us, actually, because I feel that way too.
I shall explain everything when the time is right. First, we must
It'd be a lot
finish
easier
our
to help you if you told
preparations.
us. So, yeah, what's the matter? Don't trust us? I am kind of curious to hear what she has to say about that. Of course, that is kind of confrontational. I vaguely remember, what was it? Vesemir said something about her messing with the bed. But the other thing is that, yeah, I did have some questions as to whether we would reach some kind of quote-unquote point of no return and not be able to come back here, because there are technically still 1, maybe 2 things that we'll still want to do in the Kaer Morhen area. Like, oh, we didn't see if we could still check in and play Gwent with Lambert. So that is someone that we do very much want to play Gwent with at some point, and he ran away from us a little bit. And we had to do his quest first. It wasn't an option before we just did his quest with the phylactery. But now that we have completed that, I don't know if we double-checked with him after that. So that's another thing that we potentially might want to do beforehand. We probably should have saved before we chatted with Yennefer here. But, I mean, we did fast travel here, I suppose, so there's at least that we could double back to if necessary. But I'm getting way ahead of myself here, so
Heard about the
one
bed.
step at a time.
Really prefer to sleep on the floor? Wouldn't recommend it. That stone can get awfully chilly.
Frankly, I prefer a chill to bedding littered with red hair.
So upset about Triss, you gotta take it out
Oh.
on the furniture?
Would you prefer I take it out some other way? Geralt, I don't want to seem like a vindictive shrew, but that very bed is where you just happened to fuck a dear friend of mine. Yes, I know, you'd lost your memory. Whatever. Let us agree that I will refrain from scolding you, while you will stop mentioning that stupid bed. Agreed?
Agreed.
Splendid.
Fair play.
On to more pressing matters.
Yeah, no, you made your point there. You do certainly have a point. This is interesting. Again, is potentially a little confrontational,
You
but
got trust issues with us?
No. Actually, I fear you don't trust me. So I'd rather keep certain things secret for the time
the
being.
controversial things you don't want
Tortured
to tell us.
logic.
It may seem that way now, but you'll understand in time.
You're like, I gotta do this crazy black magic stuff. You're not gonna approve. I'm just gonna do it without telling you, and then by the time you realize what I'm trying to do, it'll be too late to stop me. Is that the plan? I mean, you've certainly done something right along those lines in the past with the necromancy, so I would not rule that out by any means.
Fine. What do I do?
Firstly, help Eskel and Lambert. One was supposed to get
Done
the forked
and
tail
done.
spinal fluid. The other was to fortify the phylactery with elemental power. I've yet to see anything from either of them.
Taken care of.
Is that so? My, the initiative.
Indeed.
That leaves one other trifle to resolve.
Okay, go on.
As you saw, my megascope's acting up. In rather spectacular fashion. I'm certain there's an energy source nearby, generating disturbances, making the crystals malfunction. We must find it and neutralize it. Quickly, I must contact someone. It's urgent.
Okay. Care to say who?
Who you plan to contact? Or is
I
that
swear.
a secret too?
No secret at all. Ida Emian.
Don't know who
Remember
that
her?
is.
How could I forget? Member of the Lodge, Elven Sage.
Okay, well,
Exactly.
member of the lodge is
Sage.
perhaps
As
enough
the name suggests,
information.
she should know a great deal. I'd like to ask her for advice about Uma.
I was gonna say if it was Sheila, I would not have approved.
Your sorceress friends, the sage and not so sage, they've let me down before. But if we gotta, we gotta.
If only you'd been this cautious with all of them. But no matter.
Alright, we get it.
Thank you for your permission.
Alright, what exactly do we need to do, though?
Alright. How do I find the source?
Use this Potestaquizitor.
Oh, what?
Potestaquizitor? Sounds fancy. Complicated.
Yet it's ever so simple. Grasp it firmly, move it around.
Firmly
and the louder
grasp it
squeals, the
in
closer
your
you are.
hand.
Spare me your juvenile wit, please. Well, what are you waiting for?
Firmly grasp it!
Ah, one more thing. Thank you, Geralt.
Oh, look at that. She even smiled! Two things that I thought she was incapable of doing.